It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Ooh, today is going to be a little bit of an interesting experience or experiment, I should say. As you guys can tell, I am not in my normal studio, I'm in my living room. So please tell me if you guys can see me okay. Please tell me if everything's working out internet wise. Okay. I am having quite technical difficulties over here. It is not a good week in the bowling household with issues. So, you guys, please tell me if you can see me and if you can hear me, and I'll explain everything in just a moment. I didn't even check to make sure that pillow is sitting well. I was in such a hurry to set this up today. Wait, you can't see? You can't see? Uh-oh. Perfect. Netflix looking good. You good, girl. Okay, you guys can see me. I really hope this holds through the whole show. I am on a hotspot. We are streaming live from a hotspot. Good luck to us today. We're going to have quite a show. We have so much to talk about. Love is Blind is so Delulu. Ryan Reynolds is also as Delulu as possible because his name is Ryan Reynolds. A Real Housewife got arrested for a wild story. You know, there's nothing worse than being a criminal and being a dumb criminal. And I think that these people are dumb criminals. We have so much to talk about, you guys. I'm sorry I wasn't here yesterday. I did have a pretty sad day. It was a tough one, and we'll get into all of it, okay? Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my living room, my messy living room. I wish I would have organized it better. I just didn't have the time. Lance is not home. I wish he was, so he could have helped me set this up. I'm mad. All is good. All is good. We'll be fine as long as I have you. I am fine. Everything's fine, Donna. Everything's fine. Everyone, get ready. Let's sprinkler inside my house. It's your daily, and I don't have two hands. My mic is unmuting. I'm very stressed out. It's your daily dose of Donna. In the kitchen. This mic keeps unmuting. Will you guys please keep me posted on a technical front if you guys can continue to see us, if you can continue to hear me? When I say us, I mean me, myself, and I. Wrigley is right below me because Wrigley doesn't leave my side. I did have to put Murphy, my bigger dog, in my office, which is our studio, because Murphy does tend to bark at every single person that walks by, and that would be quite annoying. That would be tough. Frankie, my third dog, is upstairs in my bedroom, I think. Um, we did okay, so here's what's been happening in the bowling house. And you guys can understand this if you're a mom, okay? And maybe if you're a dad too. But like I don't think it bothered or annoyed Lance nearly as much as it annoyed me. 2 nights ago, no, yesterday early morning, I wake up in the 5, 6 a.m. hour. I wake up, I come downstairs. I love that early hour. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna catch up on Love is Blind, quiet hour, drink my coffee, sit on the couch, just me, myself, and I. The dogs aren't even awake yet, right? I want to watch Love is Blind and catch up on all these psycho couples. And I say that with love because thank goodness for their delusional ability to communicate. And I hear this sound here in my dishwasher. And I'm like, what the hell? We have a monster in my kitchen island. A monster has arrived. I freaked out, right? Freaked. So I immediately ran like, where do I go? What? It was coming from my dishwasher. I was so confused. I thought a man got in there and started to scream. I didn't understand. I opened it. There was some sort of blinking error, but it didn't stop. And I was like, where do I go? Power off. No, it came back on. So then I'm Googling, I'm YouTubing. I'm like, this is not Love is Blind. This is not how I want to spend my morning. I wanted to sit on the couch with Edmond and his hair pick. I wanted to sit on my couch and talk about Nick pretending that he doesn't love men. If you know, you know. And so I was like so frustrated. Why am I dealing with this nonsense here, right? Why is there a fire truck outside my house? That's the last thing we need today is a fire. Call Gavin Newsom. So now I am dealing with that. I don't even understand what to do, right? I'm panicking over that. Lance is sleeping. I don't want to wake him up. It's like 5 something. He was at an LAFC game the night before. So I'm like, I don't know how to handle that. So I'm Googling, I'm YouTube. YouTube is the answer for all problems. Do you guys do that too? So I'm YouTubing like Samsung dishwasher, LC error, help, help, help. They're like, turn off the breaker. I'm like, I haven't even had my coffee. I'm turning off breakers. But you know me, I'm like, I'm a handle it all type of person. So then I go to the breaker and it's labeled dishwasher. I turn it off. Well, it's not turning off. Turns out I find out later that the garbage disposal is the breaker for the dishwasher. I'm sorry. Can we fix that? But I digress. We have a dishwasher problem. So on top of our dishwasher being broken, which I will say Lance did end up fixing yesterday, but our dishwasher was broken. I come home yesterday after not doing my show because I was at my friend Adam's dad's funeral, which was such a hard day. It's a really hard day to go to a friend's parents' funeral. Never an easy thing. All day long outside of the house. Dishes galore, dealing with that. I come home, internet's out. Now, let me just try to explain to you what a house is like without internet when you have 2 kids. Not only 2 kids, your TV doesn't work. Computers don't work. My son doesn't have an iPhone, right? Like the younger one, he just has an iPad. No internet on it. Do you know what chaos ensues without internet in your home? We rely on internet like Edmond relies on the hair pick. We can't live without internet. I looked at Lance. I said, fix it. He says, I'm trying. He's sending me these links, these pictures. He's still on Dancing with the Stars. He's working. He's spending time with Alex Earl. I said, Alex Schmerl, okay? Your wife is in dire straits. I need internet. And I'm blaming my kids. My kids are kind of fine. Like they're like playing a video game that they have. And I'm like, they're losing it. Meanwhile, I'm the one that's losing it. I like to watch my TV on the big screen still. I don't know about you guys. This isn't cutting it. I don't want to watch my TV on this. I said, forget the stars. Forget the stars. Throw them away. I need your help, Lance. I should be the only star of your life. Forget Dancing with the Stars. Me. So I dealt with that router. I was there. I was in there. I was back and behind some sort of, there's a lot of dust. There's a lot of plugs. There's a lot of something. It was a big situation. Big balagan, they say in Hebrew, right? I'm back there. I'm back. Red light. Didn't fix it. So then today he goes, they're coming between 12 and 4. I said, 12 and 4, I record my show at 11. It's not going to fly. Tell them we need them earlier. He says, they said 12 and 4. I said, it's not going to work, Lance. This morning he says, he's coming early. I said, oh, there is a God. He comes over at 10:30, 10:45. I'm like, amazing. He comes in. The man is the size of my vaulted ceiling. He's 97 feet tall. Okay. He walks in here. Mountain man from AT&T. I go, hi, how are you? He goes, I heard you had a router issue. I said, yes. I didn't invite you over here to like try on makeup. Okay. Yes. Please. Can you go and fix it? He goes in there. He goes, the woman down the street has the same issue. I said, okay. Well, is it like a bigger issue? I mean, can you fix it? I have a show in like 30 minutes. I really got to get my router working. He's like, oh, what kind of show you do? I'm like, you're not going to like it. I don't think you're my demo. I didn't want to talk to him about my show. I wanted him to fix the internet. I was trying to be nice. goes back there. He goes, "Mm, I'm thinking it's going to be a bigger issue than just your house." I said, "Well, can you fix it? I'm going to move it. Go, 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 go. I don't want to talk. You guys like this with me?" I was not having it. I didn't want to talk about the show content. I didn't want to talk. He goes, sometimes there's squirrels here in Los Angeles. Sometimes these squirrels, it's like soy. He's talking about soy. I'm like, why are AT&T fibers made of soy? What kind of a thing is this soy? So then he says, I'm going to go check it out. I'm going to go a couple blocks down. I said, what do you mean a couple blocks down? Where are you going? He's like, to the box. What box? I don't work in your business, sir. What box? Just going to go check if the box is plugged. Comes back a couple minutes later. He goes, I go, yes. He goes, I've got some bad news. I go, what? He goes, it's a bigger issue than just your house. It's unfixable. I go, that's not what I want to hear, sir. What is going to happen with my internet? He goes, I don't know. Put in a ticket. I said to him, thank you so much. I guess I'll hotspot Daily Dose of Donna today. So here we are. And then he stood there. He just stood in my house. I was like, do you want a coffee? Like, I got to get ready. Mind you, this whole time my hair was in a towel. I was like, I got to go. I'm really happy it's Friday. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. And thank you so much for sitting through that with me. I do have some fruits in front of me. Should I have a fruit? I have so many things in my kitchen that I should probably be cleaning up. And now I feel like I should multitask while I'm here. You guys, we've got a great show ahead of us. I feel like that was my monologue. Like I'm Seth Meyers because I just watched Seth Meyers with Ryan Reynolds. Thank you so much for being here. This is going to be a wild show because I'm supposed to do ad reads. I don't have any of them pulled up. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to manage today, but I'm going to try my hardest to figure it out. And thank you so much for being here again. If you guys please haven't done it already, please subscribe and make sure to hit the like. And let's get into the show. Before we get into anything, I want to make sure to let you guys know that this week's episode is brought to you by Go Pure Neck Cream, which is incidentally on my desk downstairs. So I will be able to put it on today. And I wish I could because I didn't put it on yet today. We spend so much time caring for the skin on our face, but what about our neck? Fall is here and it's the perfect time to give your neck and chest the care they deserve. Even as temperatures cool, this delicate area is still often exposed. Whether you're layering up with the open collars, cozy knits, or V-neck sweaters, the neck is still one of the first places to show visible signs of aging. And that's where Go Pure's Beauty Tighten and Neck Lift Neck Cream comes in. Designed to be the hero of your fall skincare routine, this powerful formula is packed with clinically proven ingredients that visibly firm, smooth, and rejuvenate the skin on your neck and chest in as little as 4 to 8 weeks. Neck skin is thinner, more delicate, and less oily than the skin on your face. Did you guys know that? I feel it. It's like so skinny. It's like I'm so skinny. The skin on your neck is so delicate, and I've lost a little bit of weight in the last year. I've lost probably about 8 pounds in the last year, and the neck skin, you can feel it. It gets very, very wrinkly. You know what I mean? Very wrinkly. Jewelry Girl's asking whatever happened to your gardener. Vicente, he was just here. I just start my show a little bit later. Vicente just left. He and I just chatted. I love Vicente. With over 1 million jars sold, this beauty secret is no longer a secret. For a limited time, our listeners get 25% off Go Pure with code DailyDose at checkout. Just head to gopure.com and use the code Daily Dose, and you're all set. And after you buy, do us a favor. When they ask where you heard about Go Pure, tell them it was from Daily Dose of Donna. So get 25% off your Go Pure purchase with code Daily Dose of Donna. I'm sorry, Daily Dose at checkout. Make sure to head out to Go Pure for the weekend. These are all really good gifts for the holidays, which are right around the corner, you guys. It's nuts. It's like so fast. So let's get into the stories. The first big story is this Housewives story. And I'll tell you something. You don't even have to watch Housewives. Oh my gosh, Tony, let's do a Patreon live this weekend. Can we do a Patreon live this weekend? I've been so busy with bar mitzvah planning and everything. I'm going to set one up this weekend. Are you free this weekend? Let's talk about that. I'm going to put it on the Patreon. You don't even have to watch Housewives to know to like be interested in the story. This is like crazy. So, I've been kind of stepped out of Housewives. Although this week, like Housewives press has been big because between the Miami story and the reunion, it's like you don't even have to watch it, but these little sound bites have been so amazing. But Real Housewives of Potomac, the only reason it's been so much in the news is because it had Karen Huger. Karen Huger is the housewife that, of course, had that crazy DUI. And if you remember where that was coming out in the news last year, it was so out of control. She was so hammered, Karen Huger. She was talking such smack to the cops. She was like talking about being someone's concubine, like wild, wild, wild behavior. She just got out of jail. So she was supposedly like the bad one on the cast. Dr. Wendy Osefo, who is another one on the cast, she did not seem like she is someone. Why is someone at my door right now? Of course, someone's at my door. Hold on one second. Can you just drop it off? You need to come in? Oh my God, AT&T is here. He's not here. What do you need? I know. Hold on one second, guys. Oh my gosh. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, guys. All good. Lance? Lance, where are you? I'm definitely going to have to edit some of this for the audio version. He has a pizza delivery. He goes, AT&T. I'm like, you're a different guy. Oh my gosh. Thank you for becoming a member, Jacqueline. Let's do a Patreon live over the weekend and let's do a members only next week here. Okay. So this is a crazy story because Wendy did not seem like she was in any way shady at all. And her husband, her husband Eddie was also not shady at all. So this is really wild. But you guys, we have to talk about, first of all, we have to talk about the mugshot. Okay. Let me tell you something. If I had a mugshot, if I ever get arrested, knock on wood that I don't, please, can we work on our mugshot? What should my mugshot be? I'm thinking something along the lines of like, no, serious, right? Like, do you need a serious mugshot? Like I feel guilty, like, or do you smile? Like her mugshot is truly, it doesn't work, right? It's not good. It's like it's like a lot. Now his, I don't want to say is any better. His is not good. Now, Susan says, no smile, straight face. Enrique says, don't laugh. Act like you have regret. Clemente says, it depends on what you got arrested for. Um, okay, let's talk. Yes, they are definitely stoned. Are they high? Yes, because that's what they do. Dr. Wendy and Eddie have a business where they literally they work in marijuana. Okay, let's talk about what it is. She faces a total of 16 charges, including sorry, as you can see, I'm dealing with internet issues, so it's going to jump in and out. She faces a total of 16 charges, including 7 for felony, false, misleading info, fraud in excess of 300. When I first read it, I was like, $300? That's nothing. Like, what's going on? In excess of 300. I don't know why they start there. 8 for misdemeanor on false/misleading info fraud in excess of 300, and a misdemeanor charge of a false statement to an officer. Eddie faces 18 charges. So she faces 16 charges and her husband faces 18 charges, 9 for felony, false misleading info on fraud, and 8 for misdemeanor false misleading info of fraud. And also, so basically they're both charged on the same things. He has 2 more than her. This is really, really, really wild because this is what is happening. It started with a burglary the couple reported in April. So this is like a Dorit PK vibe, but this actually is legit in the sense that like this is what Garcelle thought Dorit did, but this actually did happen. They reported a burglary in April when they all went to Jamaica. They went on a family vacation to Jamaica. I'm pulling up the story. This was the story when they went to Jamaica and they got burglarized. This is in April of 2024. Devastated Dr. Wendy Osefo's house burglarized while vacationing in Jamaica. This is the story. And in the story, it says that she came home from vacation to find her house burglarized. They went to Jamaica, they come back to Potomac, and they're like, oh my gosh, everything is gone. A spokesman said that the investigation was ongoing. She was saying, we are violated by this intrusion. Remember, this is a year ago in April, not this April, a year ago in 2024. They couldn't believe it. So many things were gone, designer bags, so many Hermes Birkins, a large amount of jewelry. TMZ talked about it. So many people were talking about it. Everyone was devastated. And listen, the story works because when you're a housewife and you have a lot of money and then you post that you're on vacation, it's going to work and like track that you would say, look, I'm a famous person. I posted I was on a vacation and people came and they stole stuff from me. They knew I was out of town. It totally tracks that this would work for the story, except it was a lie because it says, per documents obtained by Us Weekly today, authorities noted that there was a screen with damage laying on the roof and the window was not locked. And to go in or out of that window, one has to step on the toilet. The toilet lid was down and had no debris on it, the docs read. When sheriff's office personnel stepped onto the roof and back into the home, they tracked roof grit back inside. It continued that Osefos had an ADT system and a Ring camera. The Osefos activated the ADT alarm system upon leaving for a vacation. During the time they were away, there was no motion detected inside the residence. There was activity, such as package deliveries, on the Ring camera that was monitored remotely by the Osefos. The documents state that Eddie went on to give statements to 2 insurance companies regarding a list of stolen items. He was asked whether any of the items on the list had been returned, which he denied. He was asked if he had other insurance, but failed to disclose to Home Site and Jewelers that he was also making a claim with Travelers Insurance. So they had both signed statements claiming $2,500 for the building and $450,000 in property. So in addition to saying, like, not being honest, because the cops kind of simulated how they would have broken into the house and said, this is weird. This is strange. This is not how you would break into, if you broke into the house the way that they're saying, we would have seen tracks in the bathroom. But in addition to that, they didn't they double filed for insurance claims. And that's like as much as I can kind of understand when it comes to insurance. Someone earlier in the comments said, yeah, Susan said, I work in the insurance business. Don't scam insurance. They will eventually find out and go after you. So in addition to like effing up the crime and trying to fake the crime by breaking the screen and putting it on the top of the roof and pretending that someone broke in from the roof and coming in, but not actually showing track marks, they also reported to the insurance wrong. In the original claim to Travelers Insurance, the attorney stated that they were wearing their anniversary bands when the loss occurred. However, he later called Travelers to update their claim because his wife's gold diamond anniversary band was allegedly missing. The same day, the claim was settled for $25,380, which included the replacement price of the band. And after growing suspicious of their reports and conducting an investigation, the sheriff's deputies discovered Wendy was seen on social media wearing the ring and discovered the couple was burdened by substantial debt. She got caught wearing the ring that she said was stolen on social media, guys. So she's not only a criminal, she's stupid. But it doesn't even end there. The investigation determined that numerous items allegedly stolen had been purchased before being returned to the store, where a full refund was provided prior to the alleged burglary. Following their arrest, the pair's mugshots were released, showing each of them smiling and wearing matching gray t-shirts, which appeared to be jail attire. Wendy was barefaced and only wore false lashes, et cetera, et cetera. I just got a text from my friend Eliza. You guys know Eliza Rosen on my show here. She's always on my show. And she said, I'm going to pull it up for you. She said, email records obtained by deputies showed that on April 12, 2024, so this is when they were reporting the burglary, because that burglary happened in April of 2024, Eddie emailed the list of the reportedly stolen items to his wife, Wendy. The email asked if there were any additional high-value items that we can add to this inventory listing, i.e. Chanel shoes, etc. I'm trying to get the total to exceed $423,000, which is our policy maximum. He put that in an email. Okay. Guys, I don't want to be the person to explain this to you. I don't want to have to be the person to kind of share with you how to be a better criminal, because I don't know how to do that. I've never actually ever done this, but this is kind of filed under the same guy that like started the fire in the Palisades, that Chat GPT'd how to like start a fire. This is also like a Donna Adelson moment, who called her son on a recorded line in prison and said like, we're going to travel to Vietnam on this day and like go to a country that is a non-extradition country so we don't get caught for the murder. You dumb. If you're going to ever do something that is so illegal, let's probably not put shit like that in writing. In this day and age, everything's on camera. Everything, there's paper trails for everything. There is literally how in the world did you think that you were going to be able to say, I don't have access to this Chanel bag. I don't have access to this purse. I have lost this. I have lost that. The ring, this, that. And then you have the balls to go on social media. Sorry. My mic keeps pulling out. Um, you have the balls to go on social media and you are walking around and talking and like pretending that like you're better than thou and you are um you don't think that you could get caught? Oh, look what I did. I can walk around social media and can walk around like that. Isn't that unreal? It's so crazy. The entitlement, the stupidity. Karen Huger is so excited. Now she's like, "Oh, all I did was drive drunk." But you guys, I did talk about this on TikTok earlier. I said to myself, "What is the deal with these housewives that get hired for being so incredibly smart? I mean, so incredibly rich and wealthy and just, you know, every single one of them are making these really, really stupid financial mistakes left and right. So, what do you think comes first? Do you think that the chicken or the egg? They get hired on a show like Bravo, like a Real Housewives show, where they have to kind of keep up with the Joneses, where they have to make money, where they have to look rich, where they feel like they're, famous and they get this kind of high that they're, you know, they get all this social media popularity and so many people like them. And then they feel like they need to be really wealthy looking and kind of keep up with the Joneses, and then they start doing fraudulent things? Or are they fraudulent and that's how they appear wealthy and then they get on the housewives? So that's what I wonder. I'm wondering what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Because on my show earlier, or on my TikTok, or I posted it here on YouTube as well, is I said that this is a long list. This is like 10 or 12 women already, and then plus their husbands who've been arrested or sued, at least filed for bankruptcy, at least for financial reasons in the Housewives universe. I find it fascinating. Maybe Bravo has a type, Tanya says. I think so. It would be really fascinating to go through. But like you can do a Dateline episode on 15 of these people. Uh I mean, it makes for good TV. But it does make you question, are all rich people criminals? Is that how they get rich? Or do you think that there are rich people out there that are completely crime free and have not done anything fraudulent? There's got to be some out there that have done everything by the book. Because I live here in Los Angeles. I am amongst, as you can see, I am not Real Housewife rich, but I'm amongst really rich people in my world, right? And I don't think that they're all getting sued for bankruptcy and tax liens. And they're not all Lisa Barlow that can have a party and just throw up like 15 different easels of all their lawsuits. I just don't understand how that's possible? Um, it's really wild. It's wild. Uh, okay, so let's move on to the next story, you guys. Um, It's people addicted to feeling rich and do not live below their means. That's interesting. It's people addicted to feeling rich and do. Yeah, there is something that I feel like people get this high and they get kind of like a taste of wealth and then they don't know how to like go down from it. You get a taste of what it's like to be rich and you kind of like it's like you get a hit. You don't know how not to be there. So you have to find a way to keep bringing in that money. But in 2025, you're gonna get caught. I just think it's too hard not to get caught, right? Okay, let's move on to our next story. Lola Blankets is, well, you kind of can't see it because my chair is there, but I'll try to show you. It's sitting on my couch because of course it is, because I use it every single day. Let's see if I can my mic keeps getting muted. I can't move anything. It's a very sensitive cord. But my Lola blanket is sitting right there. Do you see? Next to Wrigley on the floor. Do you see Wrigley chilling on the floor? I can put as many, um, I can put as many blankets on the floor or like dog beds. Wrigley chooses the floor every time. My Lola blanket is my favorite blanket, and you guys can get your Lola blanket at 35% off. I bought 3 blankets yesterday because I'm giving them away as gifts. So if you guys are watching this show, think about, and you're my friend, you're going to get a Lola blanket as a gift. Lola blankets are the best. They are my favorite. They're the only ones out of all the blankets I have, and I'm a throw blanket queen. I've got so many, but it's the world's #1 blanket crafted with ultra soft luxury vegan faux fur and a signature 4-way stretch that sets it apart. It's machine washable, double hemmed for durability, and stays flawless. No pilling, no shedding, even after repeated washes. One Lola instantly elevates your space. It's unbelievably soft, beautifully designed, and makes your home feel cozy and curated. I discovered Lola through Instagram, and now I see them everywhere. I tell everyone about it. Lola is my go-to gift. I just told you it's personal, beautiful, and something people actually use every day. I have the large. I love it. I have like, I don't remember what the name of it is, but it's like a brown and white, kind of like not leopardy, but it's got like a little bit of an animal print. I love it. So I will tell you that the Lola blanket is honestly the best blanket for your money that you will buy, because I've had it now for about 8 months and it does not get like messed up, and I've washed it so many times because of all the dogs, trust me. In case you guys are wondering, by the way, well, let me finish talking about Lola blankets. Go to lolablankets.com. You can use my code daily dose for 35% your entire order for a limited time. Just go to lolablankets.com and use code daily dose for 35% off. After your purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Wrap yourself in luxury with Lola blankets. Okay. Uh, if you guys notice when I lifted my computer here, I don't have a rug. I used to have a 9x11 rug in my living room here, and I do not have a rug anymore because that rug became Wrigley's bathroom. Mhm. So I got rid of the rug. So we are a living room rug free home. And guess what? Yesterday, I was gone from the house. These were for all the dog parents. I was gone from the house for 9 hours, and we had not one accident in the house. So, am I just gonna be a rug-free house now forever? Or do you think that she'll just learn not to pee in the carpet? Just curious. Just curious for all the dog moms out there. Would love some tips. Okay. Um, let's move on. I also have a doggy door, by the way. She can go in and out. So she did go to the bathroom, but she went outside where she should go. Okay, let's move on to Ryan Reynolds. You guys, Ryan Reynolds is so freaking annoying, and he's not like, he's everywhere. His PR team is really working his moves because he has this John Candy documentary, and I think it comes out today. I hope it comes out today because that means like he can take a break from my screen. It is a Amazon Prime. He must have a deal with Amazon Prime. He and his wife, because they're doing that. She did A Simple Favor, and actually, one of Oliver's, one of my son's baseball friends' dads is an executive at Amazon Prime. I'm going to ask him over the weekend. I'm going to see him this weekend. I'm going to say something. But he had 2 interviews in the last 2 days that I saw. One was with Mark and Kelly, and it was insufferable. It was truly insufferable. He seems so unlikable, and I'm like, I can't decide if I would feel this way had it not been for the Justin Baldoni Blake Lively case. Was he always this unlikable and we just had blinders on, or did he become more like unlikable because of this? This is what I don't get about Ryan Reynolds. I can't decide if we just don't like him now, or did we always not like him and now we just are realizing it. Like, I can't put my finger on it, but Mark and Kelly, who are also a little insufferable, I have to be honest. Do you guys feel the same way? I don't know why. They drive me nuts lately. Maybe it's because of Ryan Reynolds. He was on their show. It's a lot of ass kissing. That's what bothers me about all of it. Hollywood is just a bunch of ass kissing. And I don't like it. I don't like fake ass kissing people. Um, this is his little spiel on Mark and Kelly. Everything he does feels mean. coded. Let's watch a little bit of it.
I wasn't sure if you were here, so I was like, I better talk about that lost cat just in case we need more time.
About 5 minutes before we came on set, we get a text from Ryan.
I read it out loud if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I was coming from upstate, and then you guys decided to move 80 blocks south.
Did you just find that out today, did you?
This is how I think I even said it in the text. This is how I find out. I said, morning. I gave to both of you. I said, you texted both of you. I said, morning. Gave myself 2 full hours from upstate, but I'm sitting on the Hudson in what could only be described as the second act of Sharknado 10. Unwatchable, but I'm sitting here. It's happening, and there's nothing I can do about it. Waze is saying I arrive at 9:15 a.m. The other map says I'd get here earlier if I did the worm for 50 blocks. But I'm 48 and I'd rather get a vasectomy the normal way.
Why is there always
The good news is I'm
sex
dressed
joke?
and I don't care about makeup the way Mark does. I'll walk right out there like I'm starring in a damn Dove commercial, celebrating my inner beauty. So what if I don't look 5 hours younger through the magic of cosmetics? I hate being late, but I'm coming. Tell this to the most terrified person wearing a headset. I believe it's Beth. I love you both.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was. Beth was here, looked terrified wearing a headset.
Yeah.
But I'm here.
You made it worth the wait.
I did it.
Okay, the interview continues on. Let me ask you a question. Who writes text messages this way? This is his thing. He's always written these text messages that are like soliloquies, these long ass. Both he and Blake are very word salady. They're very long. They're very long worded and long winded and annoying. It's a lot of walking and talking and words, right? So many words. It's really odd. And everyone's just dancing around the elephant in the room. Everyone's just talking about Ryan and just talking about the movie. And no one, Enrique just asked and just said in the comments that it's so wild to me that his wife is going through a massive, massive lawsuit. And no one is saying, is Blake okay? How's Blake doing? Is she handling everything okay right now? Or just how's married life going? Or how's Blake? We miss Blake or nothing. There's no word about Blake right now. Like Blake is silent. And every random moment, Ryan will throw in my wife. He'll throw in my wife. But it's like Blake disappeared from his life. He decided Blake is not good for my career, so I will drop her like that. It's the weirdest, most self-serving, narcissistic thing I've ever seen in my entire life. This is a good husband. Not. It's crazy. And then, of course, Page 6 picks up an article. I couldn't even dare watch, he on Seth Meyers, and I would never, ever make you guys watch this. But he was on Seth Meyers yesterday, and he did have this one part of his interview picked up. And of course, it's again like some uncomfortable, strange article about him and his family. And it says why Ryan Reynolds would never have had 4 kids with Blake Lively if son Olin was born first. These poor kids. It's really wild. You never, ever, ever hear every question about his kids is always like some negative. Every answer about his kids is always a negative. He never talks about his family in like a positive, loving way. Do you notice that? It's always a joke. And he'll always frame it that it's a joke. But he always says something about his kids and his wife, and it's negative. And he frames it like it's just a joke. But it's so wild that he never speaks about his family in a loving, positive way. His jokes are always written or his words are always written in a very negative way. He basically says, oh my God. Listen to this article. Reynolds explained that there was nothing violent or creepy going on in their New York home before Olin's arrival. He came out with 3 things on his mind. It was violence, breasts, and engines. The Deadpool star noted that his girls were just so easy compared to a son who wants to break everything. He would have given himself a punching vasectomy before having 3 boys at first, something he would have not allowed to happen. When Seth Meyers asked whether James, Inez, and Betty feel like Olin is an HR issue, Reynolds replied, I do. He joked, I'm like in direct competition with this young man. Lively referred to Olin as romantic in a March sit down with Seth Meyers. She said, when I walk in, he goes, Mama, my love. He just like announces that I'm the love of his life at all times, which is just the best feeling in the world. I get dressed every day. I'm like a girl in middle school. Like, oh my gosh, I hope he like says something, she said. She calls their house chaos, etc. And she talks about the kids, saying that, you know, how funny the kids are. At least Blake, I mean, I hate to say this, but at least Blake talks positively about her kids. He speaks disgustingly about his family. I'm sorry. Ryan is officially he's a horrible husband, the way he talked about Blake last week when he said F you to her. And he made it like a joke when he was like, who called him back? Who was it? Bill Murray. Bill Murray's on the phone. Wasn't it Bill Murray? It's like, Bill Murray called me back. Fuck you. And then now he's like, my son is an HR issue. He's violent and he's in direct competition with me. You are a horrible human being, maybe. In my opinion. In my opinion. It's wild. She says that during her pretty intense year, the kids have been her lifeline. He says that during a pretty intense year, the kids have been his competition. This doesn't seem healthy, right? There is something incredibly unhealthy going on there. And I don't care how much he still is wearing that wedding ring. You know that relationship is so soured. Yesterday, you know how everyone's still questioning, are Blake and Taylor still friends? Are Blake and Taylor still friends? Well, they're definitely not friends. You guys know that. Like, there is no question that they're not friends. And you can pretend that they are if you really want to believe that they are. They're not friends. But my friend Molly sent a text and she goes, you know what's the biggest way to know that they're not friends? Because Taylor Swift, I guess, has been sending, and I had to like find a way to get Taylor Swift off my algorithm yesterday. I was like, I have no patience for Taylor Swift anymore. Get her off my feed. Does anyone else feel this way right now? I can listen to her a little bit. I can have her if she plays on the radio a little bit. I am not interested in Taylor Swift anymore. I don't want it on my feed. I don't know what it is. I hit a limit yesterday. But Molly did say that I guess she's sending out these big boxes, these like PR boxes. And she sent one out to like a bunch of different podcasters and a bunch of different celebrities. Blake didn't get one. Duh. Not friends. Bye. Okay. Yeah, Taylor did bad with this album. Not just with the album, but the press with the album is, in my opinion, IMO. Okay, we've got to move on. Oh, by the way, I want to remind you guys, I forgot to tell you this earlier this week. You guys keep asking me about the bodysuits that sponsor me, and she is Stephanie. She's a doser. This is one of my Stay Body bodysuits. It is my favorite bodysuit ever. I have the spaghetti strap one. I have the long sleeve one. The Stay Body bodysuits are the bomb. I have them in black. I have beige. I have or nude. I have white. And the reason why I love this so much, I wish you guys could feel it. It's not tight at all. It's not like so tight that you get those fat rolls. There's not a built-in bra where you like feel anything, but it feels so smooth. It's wonderful. And then, you know, when I go to the bathroom, if I have to go to the bathroom, I don't have to unsnap anything or take the whole thing off. You just pull down the bottom. It has like a separate bottom, but it also tucks into your shirt. It's great. So if you guys want this bodysuit, you get 10% off. It is a phenomenal quality. And she's a doser. Go to staybody.com. That's STABODY.com. and use code Daily Dose. Staybody.com. Daily Dose. It's phenomenal. Okay. Go check out everything she has. She's great. She was at Dosers Live. I love her. Let's move on to Love is Blind. Oh, I did want to say one other story, but I don't know if I have time. There is a really interesting story. We've got to just really quickly, before I get into Love is Blind, really quickly. Did you guys hear about this story? This Matlock actor? This is crazy. Really, really fat. Okay. Christina, it's Stay Body, but S-T-A, not S-T-A-Y. This is a real fast story, but I have to tell you. Who watches Matlock? I don't. But Matlock, I'm assuming with Kathy Bates, right? Isn't that who's on the show? I don't watch any of those like CBS procedural dramas. There's an actor on that show, David Del Rio. I know him from years and years ago when I was in casting. So David Del Rio is one of the actors on the show. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere yesterday, news alerts come out that he is fired from the show because of sexual, alleged SA. Okay. Alleged SA. Now, that's not such a crazy story anymore. Happens all the time. Doesn't happen all the time, sadly. I mean, thank God. But sadly, people get arrested for this kind of stuff, and we're used to these kinds of stories. However, this is a little bit of a weird twist. The story is that the girl who's also on the show, and she's an actress, and her name is Leah Lewis. She's also a series regular. So it's two series regulars, David Del Rio and Leah Lewis. And I'll show you a picture. This is from the article on Deadline. She complained about him, and she is alleging that he SA'd her. Okay. So this is David Del Rio. And thank you, Christina. It's all good. And Leah Lewis is the series regular who is, I'm like pulling it all up with one hand here. Leah Lewis is the series regular who is complaining. Okay. Now, yesterday, let me show you a picture. This is Leah Lewis, by the way, just so now you have a visual. Yesterday, he abruptly exited the CBS legal drama following an investigation into a sexual assault allegation. According to sources, it occurred on September 26th, so I guess a one-time thing, and involved her, Leah Lewis. A report of the incident, which happened in her trailer, triggered immediate action by the series producers and the studio behind Matlock and CBS Studios. Following an internal investigation by the studio, David Del Rio was fired immediately and escorted off the Paramount lot the same day, which we hear was October 2nd. So the incident happened on September 26th, but October 2nd, it was reported, they investigated it, and immediately he was fired and escorted off the Paramount lot same day. I mean, that is a pretty big deal to happen in Hollywood, but I think it's probably because most people are definitely not going to take this kind of stuff for granted. They're not for granted, but like they're not going to take this stuff lightly. And Matlock producer Eric Christian Olsen, I don't know if you guys know who Eric Christian Olsen, he's also an actor. He's been around for years and years and years. Again, someone I used to audition forever. I think he was on that show Quintuplets years ago. He is one of the executive producers, and he was part of that decision, and he was among one of the people that led him away, which is kind of a crazy story. Filming continued after his firing, and now it's set to go on a hiatus next week after wrapping the first half of season 2. And after Thanksgiving, it's going to come back to work. Given the sudden nature of his departure, now they're going to have to rework scripts to write his character off. But here's the craziest part about it. Right after the report was published, this woman, Leah Lewis, who I'm showing you a picture of, posted a photo of her and her mom on Instagram stories with the caption, "Mom is here. We're moving forward in love and strength. I'm in good hands. Thank you to everybody for any kind of support and care. Truly, we're moving forward in strength." Keyword strength. Let that be the takeaway. Okay. So she posted on Instagram very nicely and very easily, like, "I'm with my mom. All is good." I wonder if there's a picture of it here. Yes, this is the picture that she posted. And it seems like a very nice picture. It's her and her mom. And she said, Mom is here. We're moving forward. Keyword strength. But here's the craziest part about it, you guys. He didn't post anything. He hasn't said a word, but his wife, who's an actress and a chef, her name is Catherine Del Rio, posted on her Instagram account. She posts and deleted the story immediately, but she posted a picture, a zoomed in picture of Leah Lewis, of this face, like really, really zoomed in of her face. And she said, "This is the most disturbing human being I have ever met. The wife of the man who was accused." Okay. So that's wild. Then, right after she did that, she posted a story of herself, the wife of the man who got accused, posted a story of herself with her mom and posted a caption saying, "Mom is here. We're moving forward in love and strength after what Leah did to our family. Thank you all for the love and support." And this is the photo that the wife posted with her mom. Does that make any sense to you guys? Are you getting it? So Leah Lewis, who is the other woman that I showed you in the picture, is a series regular. She accuses the series regular, David Del Rio, of SA. He immediately gets fired a week later. His wife in real life, who's now on the screen here, gets really pissed off and angry at the woman who accuses her husband. So she attacks her on Instagram stories, goes after her, posts a picture of her and says, "This is the most evil woman I've ever met," and then mocks her for posting a picture of her and her mom saying, "I'm okay, everything's fine," and posts a picture of herself with her mom and says the same thing, basically. So she's attacking basically the woman who accused her own husband. Does that make sense? It would be as if I can put it in Blake and Justin terms, it would be as if Blake accused Justin, Justin getting fired immediately, and then Justin's wife going after Blake on Instagram immediately and attacking her instead of just being quiet. Now, David Del Rio's wife, Catherine, immediately deleted everything, but it's a horrendous way to handle it. I think it was the worst way to handle it. And so she deleted everything, of course. And then Leah finally broke her silence when she said, well, that was her way of breaking her silence by posting that on Instagram stories. I cannot believe that his wife did that. I think absolutely, maybe, possibly the worst crash out, not thinking way to handle it ever. And now we don't know. I mean, I can see being angry. I can see being very protective, and I can see immediately believing that your husband is in. And just immediately assuming that your husband is innocent and they're evil without taking a second is just such a bad look. You know what I mean? It's just such a bad look. I don't know. What do you guys think? Don't you think it's like a little unhinged? I would be horrendously mad if someone accused Lance and he lost his job, but you can't react that way. I can understand the reaction. You just cannot do it. You just can't do it, right? Interested. You guys are all saying that you would do it. Your career's over. You can't do that. You also have to act like normal because you want him to be able to get another job. Oh my God. I would definitely not react that way if someone went after Lance and I was also an actress and a public figure. No way. I would wait. It's not been official. He's just been accused. Don't you have to like wait? I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm like acting like holier than thou. We need to hear more. Are you sure you wouldn't? We need more details, I guess. What would you do? What would you do right now? Let me know in the comments. If someone accused your husband, how would you handle it day of? Would you go on Instagram stories and attack? Would you go after the woman? Would you attack the studio? That's probably something I would do more. Instead of going after the woman, I would maybe go after the studio or the producers. I don't know what I would do. Some of you guys are saying that she was very close with the husband and the kids called her Aunt Leah. And so they feel very personally like angry. But what if the husband did do something? How do you know for sure he didn't? How are we so confidently sure that he didn't? Is it possible that he did do something in that trailer? We're convinced that he didn't? Let's find out. Let's get more details. I'll do some more research and I'll come back with it on Monday. Finally, let's get into Love is Blind episodes 7, 8, and 9. Okay. We are still in Baja. And here's all I know. These couples are not okay. All I can say is these couples are not okay. And we need to do a wellness check on Denver. Every single one of these need help. The only one that is somewhat okay, honestly, is Sparkle Megan, in my opinion. Sorry, I know that a lot of you guys may not like her, but Sparkle Megan seems to be the only one that has got like a little bit of a head on her shoulders. Although she's choosing to be with a man that I don't think is going to be right for her ultimately, but she really loves him. But she seems to like have a decent head on her shoulders, but she doesn't live in Denver. So like it kind of tracks. All of these Denver fools, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with them, but we've got a problem in Denver. Okay? We'll start with Allie and Anton. Basically, I'm not going to go through every single episode and what's going on, but just couple to couple. Their biggest issue in the first few episodes was zero. And that's why we just didn't get to know them. They had nothing going on. She just laughed throughout the entire show. There was no substance. The most fighting that they had was when they got back home. He works overnights and so does he. And this is going to trip me up because their mornings are their nights. So when they get home from work, it's AM. Now, this is always going to be a problem for my brain because they get home in the morning and before they go to bed, they're eating breakfast, which is their dinner. And he's like, "Do you want a mimosa?" But it's a Tuesday morning at 8:30 a.m. and that's like their cocktail after dinner. Well, it turns out we find out later that he drinks beers every morning. Every morning. He drinks beers. Well, that would be a little concerning for me. Wouldn't be for you? I would struggle hardcore if my husband or boyfriend, I don't care that we work nights, came home every single night and drank beers or morning. There's something weird about drinking in the morning. I don't care if you're a night shifter. That's not going to work well with me. It would be very strange. Sorry. I don't know why. Next. Unless you're like on a cruise or in Mexico. You know what I mean? Weird. Kenny says, how many beers though? I don't know. I think it would be hard for me, but maybe it's fine for other people. She says it's not my lifestyle. Well, then that's a problem, right? The biggest fight that they have though is that when they go out to dinner with his best friend and his best friend's girlfriend, and she finds out in the bathroom that he used to go to strip clubs. And she says, "What? That's not a guy I want to be with." And I'm yawning over here because I'm like, this is not a fight. Goodbye. Goodbye. Boring. Goodbye. Like, not interested. Bye. Next. Where do I want to go? Let's go to Joe and Madison. Joe and Madison, I struggle with them because in Mexico, they had the whole Joe being completely shit-faced, blackout drunk night. I think I talked about this already. Joe was so hammered, and I thought maybe under some other substance. But now that I think about it, even if he was just drunk and high, I was talking about this with some other people, and I've changed my tune on this. When you take a nap in the middle of the day, sometimes you wake up and you're so out of it and so confused. Add that to day drinking and you wake up in the evening or whatever and it's like night out and you're like, is it night? Is it day? Am I in Thailand? Like you have no idea where you are, right? Waking up in the middle of the morning and or in the middle of the evening or whatever, I don't know necessarily how I would be, especially after a full day of drinking. And he was still really drunk. Okay. She's like, Joe, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing this? What is wrong with you? Why are you being this way? Like she was so obnoxiously annoying and in his face. And that probably freaked him out even more. Not to mention, like, there's a crew in front of you. And he was freaking out because he was probably ashamed to be like, sorry, I got hammered. I was hammered 5 seconds ago. Like, I don't even remember how I got here. Sometimes I wake my kids up in the morning. Dylan, especially, he's like a really deep sleeper. And I'll wake up in the morning and he says something. And I'm like, wait, what? And he's still in his dream. So I think that's part of what happened. I think that's part of kind of what was going on. He was like still in his dream. So I don't really judge him for that conversation, but she did not take well to that drunk conversation. Then they come back, they make up, everything's fine with them, and they're a very cute couple. I think Joe is hot, and I think Madison's gorgeous. But then they get in a fight. They get in a fight over their kitchen counter. They all sit in these really uncomfortable kitchen counter tables over Chinese food, and she is not happy with him. This man cannot say a word to her about anything without her freaking out. He's like, so, I mean, wow, we're getting married in like 2 weeks. And I'm like, and she's like, Joe, what? Joe, what? And he's like, I just don't know if I'm exactly sure. What? I thought this is perfect. You're freaking me out, Joe. I thought we were gonna be perfect together. You're having. I feel like my dogs are like, what's going on? You're having red flags. Like I thought that this was good, Joe. Joe, what? Joe, what? And he's like, I just thought that, like, I just wanted to be honest with you. Like, I just thought that there was like a little bit of a struggle with it. Joe, I don't understand. You're freaking me out. Like, why? Why? And he's like, but the show is like, it's a lot. We just met 2 seconds ago and now we're getting married. Like, you're not worried at all. And she's like, no, you proposed to me and I knew you were the one. And he's like, okay. I would lose my mind. I would literally take an orange and be like, shut up, Madison. You're so ridiculous. And then meanwhile, she's like, you're pissing me off, Joe. You're pissing me off. She's like grabbing a crab rangoon and throwing it in her mouth. And she's like, why, Joe? And 2 seconds later, she's like, I'm taking off this ring. I don't want to be with you if you don't want to 100% be with me. And he's like, I don't know what to do because you're not letting me talk to you. I just want to be able to just know, Joe. I thought that we were 100% in this together. And if you're not 100% in this together, then what are we even doing here, Joe? And he's like, what am I doing wrong? The poor guy. If a man is going to open up with you a little bit with his emotional feelings, let him take it in. Allow it. Don't shut him down. Don't yell at him. Don't make him scared to open up with you. That is the worst possible thing you can do. Look at me pretending I'm like fucking Patty Stanger here. But that is the worst possible thing you can do with a man because men are so, at least most men, not Nick. We'll get to him later. We'll get to Nick later. But like there are so many things that you can. If you shut down a man who struggles sharing his emotional feelings early on in a relationship, they will never do it again because they'll be scared to talk to you. And then 10 years down the line, you're going to be like, you didn't tell me you were unhappy before you fucked the stripper. And he's like, because I was scared to open my mouth to you because every time I dared share a thing to you, you threw the ring on the table, right? Let a man share and listen. And don't be so defensive if he just says, I'm feeling a certain way. Maybe it's not about Madison. Maybe it's about the fact that all of a sudden this man was single 5 seconds ago and now he's supposed to be a married man. It's wild. It's a really wild situation. So anyway, it's yeah, TX Katarina says, Texas Katarina, I sent my husband to therapy to get him to argue with me. This is a dream for a woman, to get a man to open up and start sharing their emotions. And she's like, stop. Just tell me you're happy always. What? If a man told me he was always happy, I would be so out the door. I would be like, no, bye. The worst. Okay. But then they, like, I don't even remember if they ever made up from their crab rangoon fight. I don't even think they did. He was just like, what? She ran off. And then all of a sudden the next episode, I didn't see them make up. They were just fine again next episode. And then, they seemed okay at the end of their howdy doody. There was a howdy doody bar at the end. When the whole cast, like single and not single, gets together, and they seemed fine except the last scene at the last of the last episode. He's like, I guess I'll take another shot. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Joe's getting drunk again. Okay, let's move on to another couple. Let's talk about Nick. Nick. Oh, Nick. Before we left Baja, Nick and Annie had one of the most outrageous fights I've ever had in my entire life. Now, let me tell you why I know that Nick is not into women. Please don't be offended by this, by the way. And you're thinking it too. Did you guys change your minds about Nick now? Those of you that fought me when I said that I thought he was into men, do you change your minds now? No man, and I say this honestly, no man wants to talk out your problems that much. No man would ever have the patience to sit through a fight with Annie the way that he did the night in Baja when she was drunk. I'm assuming she was drunk. And she was so outrageous, going over and over and over and over and over in a circle over the fact that he was like, she was like, you're just not in love with me. I just know it. I just know that you don't love me enough. I'm here. I love you. Like, I just love you. And it's like, you're just not able to tell me that you love me. I just know it. You're just not. And he's like, but I love you. And she's like, but you don't. Like, it's okay. You just don't. It's like, I just know you don't. You're just like not in it. You're not in it. And he's like, I really love you. Like, I am on this journey with you. And I know you need affirmation. So I'm giving it to you. But it's okay. You don't. You're not. You can't. Like, why? Why can't you? But why can't you? He's like, I'm giving it to you. And she's like, but it's okay. You don't have to. You don't. You don't want to. Okay. It's okay. I'll just take it. And he's like, do you even want me to sleep in this bed? And she's like, yeah, I fucking love you. I love you. Don't you get it? Why don't you get that I fucking love you, Nick? Why don't you see it? And he's like, I do see it, but like, I can't tell if you're mad at me or not. And she's like, why don't you see who I am? I want you here. Don't you see it? And he's like, I do. I love you. And she's like, but you don't. I was going to shoot myself. I literally was like, what the fuck? Have I ever been this annoying? Because if I ever started this with Lance, especially after drinks, he would be like, shut the fuck up. I'm going to bed. I don't even think he would give me that courtesy. He would just turn off the light. I truly think Lance wouldn't even be like, babe, I love you. I'm going to bed. We'll talk about this tomorrow. He'd be like, you're so, this is Lance. He'd be like, you're so fucking annoying, Donna. That's what Lance would do. And then I'd probably cry. and then wake up the next morning and be like, I'm so embarrassed, Lance. What did I do last night? Like, what man would sit there and like get up and like hug and walk and go and talk and like, no man in the history of America would ever do that unless he knew he was on camera and felt like he needed to play it up for something. Maybe there was that. Now, I do think, you know, when he was showing Annie around his cabin, his mountain man cabin boy, he was walking around his garage. He has all these toys. He has a beautiful car. He made up his own like PlayStation area with all these like racing simulators. He's got big skis or something. And he said, I'm a size queen. Did you guys hear that? Nick, he said, I'm a size queen. Okay. Nick, most men don't call themselves a size queen. Just saying. No, I really liked Nick's parents. They were sweet. I don't think we got to meet Annie's parents, did we? I don't really remember Joe and Madison's families. Like I kind of like slept through that part, I think. Nick and Annie. That will be an interesting wedding. It will probably work really well. She plays a good beard. Okay. Jordan and Megan. He lost me the second he put a goddamn baked chicken breast in a blender with Crystal Light. I'm still dry heaving. I am still dry heaving. I truly cannot tell you how sick I am over this. Hold on. I'm truly dry heaving over this. I cannot imagine how someone could be so disgusting. I literally wanted to vomit. He took a baked chicken breast with no seasoning. I literally dropped it in a blender, water, and one package of Crystal Light, probably sugar-free Crystal Light. Blend. Drank it in a gold cup. He gave it to her in a gold cup to try it. I wanted to literally die. It was the worst thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. Horrendous. And then, other than that, they did go and check out his house, which was kind of like a very chill house, like calm house. And then they went and saw a house. Their biggest issue is the fact that he doesn't have financial contribution. Like he's not going to be able to bring a lot of money to the table. She does. That is going to be a problem down the line. And if you think I'm crazy, call me crazy. I think this will be a problem for her. She's not someone that money doesn't matter to. It matters to her. But for some reason, she's pretending like it's not going to matter. Do you guys think? I think she fell in love with the fact that he has a diabetic child. And that is the only reason that they're together. For some reason, she's obsessed with the fact that he has a diabetic child because for her, it's a sign about her dad. And that's all she cares about. I don't know what it is, but she is obsessed with the fact that he has a diabetic child. It's weird. Every time he brings up his son, she loses it. Like that's why she's with him. And I think the novelty will wear off and I think she'll move on from him. He's not going to be enough for her. Mark my words. Maybe they'll get married, but let's see the long term. The final couple are KB and Edmond. Now, I'm trying to be very polite about this. Edmond is not okay. And he shouldn't have been on the show. And it's not in like a funny way. It's in I don't know if he's mentally stable enough to be on a TV show. What is the deal with Edmond? We talked about it last week. He is Urkel, but also or earlier this week. But also, like the pics, hair pics, they keep changing. The style is wild, whatever. He got in a pantry. I mean, that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. He cries over everything. We got to meet his mom. That was an interesting meeting. Okay. KB really likes him. Calabria. She really likes him. Like, she's really into him. I don't get it. He's got a lot of unresolved struggles. They did get into one big argument on this last Cowboy Howdy Doody night. I still can't really understand why. She also got very defensive over one comment that he said that he wishes that she gave him a little bit more affirmations and love. She lost her mind over it. He could not get her back. He tried his hardest to say, like, I'm sorry, and it wasn't enough. But I don't think he's able to communicate well. I truly cannot understand exactly what's going on, if it's like a neurodivergence issue, if it's a therapy issue. This man should not be on a TV show, and this is a casting mishap, majorly. I don't understand what went wrong. And I don't know why, out of every single person that they could have put on this show, they said to themselves, that's the guy. This guy is going to be amazing. What a stud. What a knockout. What a winner. Like, the maturity is not there. The ability to communicate is not there. It's so effed up to put a man like that on a TV show. A, to expose him to the world in this state, but also B, to put him in a situation where he could potentially get married and put a woman in a situation where she's going to marry him. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. Casting needs to do better on these shows. Like, some of the men that they pick for these shows are so wildly inappropriate that I wonder, is it a shtick? Like, are they doing it to piss us off? Are they doing it to get us angry and to get us heightened and get us to talk about it in TikToks? It's wild. Now, the one thing I will say about the end of the season, or the last scene of the show, is that we find out that the guys don't like Nick. And Nick, remember, is Nick. Nick is the one, the size queen, right? Nick is the one that we don't know if he likes Annie. The guys don't like Nick. They think he's manipulative. And I was like, oh, this is an interesting twist. So I'm very, very curious to find out what happens there and why. They think he's faking it, probably. We will see what happens on the show. I appreciate you guys sticking through this horrendous technical difficulty. Hopefully the video quality was decent enough. I will try my hardest to see what I can do with it later. I appreciate you guys. I love you. I adore you. Thank you for being here. And I will talk to you guys on Monday. Check out Patreon. We'll do a Patreon live on Sunday. We will do a members live on a members only here on YouTube next week. And I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for being here. Love you. Bye.